Hello, my friends in Bradenton. My name is Hudson Warren. And first of all, I'm really excited to be here, even though it's on a recording. And I'm grateful that you've allowed me some time in your important team meeting today. And my goodness, what a couple of weeks it's been in Florida. I am just up the road in Tampa, where we were supposed to get all this craziness. And I know that you have been helping your neighbors down south. And some of you have had issues. And so my heart is with you as a Floridian. And the reason I'm here today is to talk about a few things, and yet just so you know who I am, right? So I am your neighbor just up in Tampa. I'm like you, I'm a real estate agent. I still sell real estate and I run a team called the HomeWise team. We're in your area. We're everything from Tampa down south to Marco Island, Florida. And with 6 producing agents last year, we closed 206 transactions for about 60 million in volume. So we do what you do, just so you know that, so you don't totally tune me out right now, because we actually do what you do and I do what you do. And what I personally spend most of my time doing is coaching. So I am a MAPS coach and my specialty is bold, and I travel around the country and I help agents just like yourselves live a life by design and live a life worth living, quite frankly, and have businesses worth owning and all of those wonderful things. And that's where my heart is. And then I have a pretty big life outside of business. I have 6 children under the age of 12. And I'm married to a saint, and we have a big life. It's beautiful and it's chaotic, and I wouldn't want it any other way. And so much of the life that I have today is because of Bold, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit. And so here's what I want to do. I want to talk about the nature of the market that we're in, right? Because we know we were in a market that was service-based, and yet honestly, it was almost not even service-based. It was also it was speed based, right? Like, because the truth is, even if your service wasn't great, if you showed up first to the listing opportunity, you were probably going to get it. And if you got in front of the new buyers first, then they were probably going to work with you. And if you were the first one to show the listing and get the offer in, well, you had the higher probability of getting your deal accepted, right? So it was really a skills, or excuse me, a speed / service market that we were in. All right, so we know that. And now that we know we're transitioning into a different market that's very much, as I misspoke before, skills-based, right? We're now moving into, and really we are into, a skills-based market. And so we've got to think about some things. And I'm going to ask these questions and keep moving just so you're thinking. We don't have to like stop and pause. Like, where are you skilled right now? That would be a good question to ask ourselves without judgment, because it's always just about gaining clarity, because how would you ever get where you desire to go if you didn't know where you started, right? So where are you skilled right now? And on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate your overall preparedness for a skills-based market? And then a big one would be, what skill do I have the most room for improvement in? What is that? And then the follow-up question is, do we even know? Because a lot of times I find that we don't even know what we're missing out on. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. I want to talk about the idea of performance, because look, if you intend to hit a goal, whether it's business or professional, you are going to have to perform in order to get there, right? So here's an easy equation for what performance really is. Performance simply equals your potential, which all of you have unlimited potential, minus interference. Squirrels, right? Your performance equals potential minus interference. And your performance is driven by your relationship with possibility. So another great question to ask yourself as we move into a different market is, what is my relationship with possibility? You know, and it could be as simple as, are you the glass half full or the glass half empty, or give me the glass I'm thirsty, whatever it is. Like, how do you look at the world? Do you look for the opportunity in things? Do you focus on that? Or do you kind of stay focused on the, oh, this is why I can't do it, and this is why that didn't work, and that type of thing? No judgment in the answer. The answer brings you clarity, and if you don't like the answer, you can change it. All right, so here's what I'm going to ask for you to do. I am going to ask you to participate here, and while I'm not there to eye you and judge you, your leadership is. All right, so I'm going to ask you to just draw a circle. Now you'll see, so you feel better about your life. My circle's not very good. All right, and I own that. I'm cool with it. You're going to draw a circle, and imagine it's like a pizza or a pie or a cake or whatever round food you like best. And you're going to assume it would hold 8 slices. You're going to write in 2 slices, right? You're just going to write in 2 slices here at the top. So 2/8 of the circle will have slices. The rest is open. Y'all got this. You're math majors, I'm sure. All right, here's what I want you to do. That first big slice at the top of the circle, I want you to label that the things that you know that you know. The things that you know that you know, like you know how to open a lockbox and you know how to go show a property, and some of you might know how to do listing appointments at a high level, some of you don't. Some of you might know how to work with expired, some of you don't. It's the things that you know that you know. All right. The second small slice, this little guy, you can't read my writing anyway, so I'm gonna read it for you. Things that you know you don't know. So in other words, an easy example would be short sales, right? Maybe you've never worked with a short sale or closed a short sale, and you know that short sales exist, right? You know that they are something that could bring you more business. You could learn it. So you know it exists, you just don't know how to work with it yet, right? And then that big old section, that big, like if it were a pizza, like that's what I want. I want the 75% of it. Those are your blind spots. Those are the things that you don't know that you don't know. Again, the things you don't know, you don't know. Those are the things that hold us back. Those are that's the lack of awareness. That whole saying that ignorance is bliss, which of course is not at all true. Ignorance keeps us in a life that we don't always desire to be living at the time. So we've got to identify the real things that are getting in the way, whether it's of our success, of our hitting our goals, whatever it is. We've got to identify things, because when you properly identify a problem, it's already 80% of the way solved. Like if you know why you can't hit that next benchmark in your business, or why you can't get out of debt, or why you can't get into shape, or whatever that big important goal is, business or personal, if you know what the true block is, you can fix it. It's so super simple for you to do so. And so I want to pose one more question to you before we kind of move towards wrapping this up. Live an opportunity with me, right? Just for a minute. Like let's not be boring adults. Let's be kids. Live an opportunity. And I've got an easy button for you. And all you need to do is hit it. And any one particular skill that you would desire for your business, you've got it mastered. Hit the button, you've mastered the skill, whatever it is. What would that be? What would that number one skill that would take you to the next level in your business be? And then while we're having fun and living an opportunity, let's do the same thing in your personal world. You get one more tap of that button, and it's for personal only. And it is, no matter what, it is, oh goodness, it could be a skill within your personal world, or it could just be a major change within your personal world. Boom, like that. What would it be if you hit that button? See, now, here's the thing. Your leadership and I, we have the button. We've got the button. The button is bold. It's absolutely bold. Now, here's my caveat, because I'm not a liar, right? It's not instant. And yet think about it. What if you spent the next few weeks with us, and by the end of this year, that skill was mastered, and that change or skill within your personal life was taken care of as well? What would that do for you? What would that do for your family? What would that do for 2023 and beyond? Because I don't know about you, I didn't get into this business to show houses till the day I dropped dead. I got into it to live a different life than I was used to as a child, and make sure that I had an unlimited resource in the world. So here's what I want to close with. I could tell you what BOLD is. Here's the cliff notes. BOLD is a coaching, conditioning, and accountability experience. It's got a classroom aspect to it, and yet the difference with BOLD and a regular class is that we have you implement in the room. We tell you why you're doing it, so that it's not just blind movement, right? It's mindset and it's action, because those are the only two things that we have control over. Nothing that we do in the room is anything different from a mindset item or an action item, because otherwise we're worried about things we can't control, which is not a great road to go down. So in closing, I want to tell you why I coach BOLD, because to me, it kind of paints a path of why you would join us, right? Because if everything in your life is perfect, like you have like everything is perfect, maybe you don't need to be with us. Like, good for you. Like, I'm happy for you. I think it's great. And yet when I first stepped into the BOLD room, my life was not great. It was October of 2014. I had sold exactly 0 homes that year, and I had no other job. So I had made exactly 0 money that year. And it was bad. And I put BOLD on a credit card. I was also in a fun fact, I was also in a super dysfunctional relationship and just generally miserable, and living in a place where I didn't really know anybody. It was interesting. And so I took my one credit card that had any balance on it left, or open balance. And I went to Bold because I was not going to get a job, right? No, not doing it. And I created 11 transactions in the 7 weeks that I was in Bold. 7 of them closed by the end of the year. So I closed a whopping 7 deals that year, except that was amazing because it kept me from having to go get a crappy job. And I realized that so much of what happened for me in there was not just what I learned, it was also the environment and the experience, right? Because our environment matters, right? So I went back 15 times in 5 years. I know I sound super dumb right now, except this is what that did for me. 7 homes sold in 2014. In 2017, I sold 111. Like, who the heck am I to sell that many houses? And that was with barely a team. And in 2019, I had the team going, and it was the first year I made over $1 million. And I don't tell you that to be braggadocious. Here's the deal. I have a high school education. That is it. I have no college degree. I come from a very, very lower middle class family. I don't come from money. Nothing about the life that I live today was ever really in the cards for me. I learned that my past had nothing to do with my future, and I learned that I could achieve more. And somewhere in there, by the way, I got out of the dysfunctional relationship, got married to an amazing human, and now we've got like a small sports team of children. And it's really just the most beautiful thing that I could ever imagine. We live in our dream house. We have 6 streams of income, working on a 7th right now. It's beautiful. And all of it stemmed from that choice that I made right before that class to go ahead and get uncomfortable and go further into debt at the time, which I know sounds horrible. And yet going into debt at that time has kept me out of debt for years and living a different life. So if there's anything different that you're looking for in your life, look, if everything's great, congrats. Like, I want to hang out with you if everything's great. I like people like that. If there's a gap, if you desire more business, more money, more profit, more time for yourself, more time with your family, a family, better health, better wealth, anything more in your life, then Bold is the place for you to be. And it's not given all year long. So I want to challenge you, if you are looking for more, grab a form from your leadership now, sign up for Bold, be done with it before the excuses come in. I say it with love. I'm an agent. I'm just like you. I got a lot of excuses if I'm left to my own devices. And just sign up now and join us. And I cannot wait to meet you in person. And your leadership will share my contact information. If you have any questions, I obviously cannot answer them in a video, yet please reach out to me and I'm happy to answer any that you have. Have a beautiful rest of your meeting and an amazing day.